Studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Everybody, and welcome to the Cindy Cochran Show. Yeah, that's who you're listening to, the Cindy Cochran Show, and I'm Cindy Cochran, so that works out well. And I am so happy for y'all to be with us, and I've got a surprise. We got a sponsor. Do you have music you're playing? Yay. Okay. Anyway, we have our first sponsor, and we're so excited so we can stay on the air and I can have gas to get here, and it's just great. Anyway, I guess you want to know who that is. Yes, it's Wootton Financial. This financial group is so amazing. They were with us when we were at the old studio, and now they're back. Yes. See, so some of you out there, they're wondering, should I sponsor the Cindy Cochran Show? Well, these guys came back. You know, they were with me for a while, and it was great. And so they came back, and they are a fiduciary. I found out what fiduciary is. That sounded so strange when they said they were a fiduciary group, and I went, wait a minute, that sounds like, what could that be? But that's it's a good thing. And we'll have Chris Wootton on the show at different times, and he's going to be explaining what that is. And in fact, if you want to just call Chris and find out what it is right now, because you may be really worried about that, is you can call him at 936-449-5952. That's 936. Are you writing this down? 936-449-5952. And they are an independent fiduciary advisor with professional advice to help you put the pieces of your retirement puzzle into place. Oh, I like that. That's really cute. Did you write that, Richard? No. Okay. All right. It must have been Chris. Anyway, give them a call, and we'll be talking about them, and we're going to have a spot from Chris later on throughout the shows. And so they're going to be part of the family, the Wootton Financial Group. Anyway, but even more exciting than that, and that's pretty exciting, but more exciting than that is that today on my show, I have the Exterminators. That's not what they're called. No, they're called Moco Pest Solutions. And I love that name, Moco Pest Solutions. I've got Chris. Oh, your last name is so funny, because I called him last night and I went, you know what? I don't know what y'all's last name is, because I've known him for how many years? A lot of years.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
A lot of years. And so I said, okay, tell me your last name.
Pasket.
Pasket, that was it. Pasket, because I went Tiska, Taska, Pasket. Yes, all right. And I thought, I'm going to remember this, but I didn't. And his wife, Melissa, is with him. Thank you, Melissa, for coming.
Thank you so much.
We've talked on the phone forever.
Many years as well.
Yeah, and so I'm so glad to get to meet you and see you and have Chris here. And I wish he was at my house right now, probably doing stuff. But he's been coming over to the house. This guy is amazing. He comes over, and you don't even know he's so fast. He can go through that house so fast. And my grandson was sleeping last time, and I said, you really don't need to, because he's sleeping. He goes, he'll never know I was there. He didn't. I told him later, I said, Chris came in and exterminated your room. And he goes, he did what? How was it? I was in there? I was asleep? No, yeah, that's how fast he is. He said, I couldn't even smell anything. And I went, no, you don't smell anything. That's what he's great. I mean, that's what I'd tell him. Okay, now, when we very first started, I said, now, Chris, do I need to put the silverware up? Do I need to clean out the drawers and stuff, because that was the old way. You had to take everything, put it away, and take the dog out and the whole thing. And now it's great, because he just goes in there and makes it all happen. It's like magic. So you've come a long way, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Been in the industry a long time, so.
How long? How many years?
This will be coming up 20 years for when I first got my license, so next year.
20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Just think all those dead insects that you've
Millions
put away.
and millions.
And millions of them. I was thinking about that. Have you seen movies where they have the exterminator comes in and works and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And like John Candy, I think was one of them one time. No, John Goodman was an exterminator. Some movie, and I can't remember.
Arachnophobia.
That was it, arachnophobia. Oh, I'm
Yes.
so glad you remember that, because I remember it in the cellar, and he's going through and doing stuff.
He's going through battle, yeah.
And isn't that funny? Like, imagine you sitting in the audience and just laughing your head off, and people are going, "This guy must be an exterminator. What does he know that we don't know?"
I've seen some close.
Do you think they stayed true to the
They
profession?
might have stretched the truth a little bit in the movie, but
Oh, you think so?
The wives think it's arachnophobia when they call.
Definitely.
So
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
The wives are what keeps me in business.
so the girly girls are really, really afraid of the spiders and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
They don't like the creepy crawlers. They don't want them.
They don't want them, and so as soon as they see one,
That's
they call
it.
you, right?
Yeah.
Too many.
Most guys, they don't care. They're guys. They just deal with it.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
just put it away and hope it fixes itself.
Well, I grew up on the East End, and on the East End of Houston, there's roaches out there. They're just out there. And I grew up with them being in the house, and my dad just spraying this horrible stuff. And they still be there. They'd laugh at him. They go like, "We're going to have this for lunch. Thank you." And so it was like you just never thought that a lot about them, especially turning on light in the place and going from dark to light. They all went like, "We were partying. You guys just ruined the party." But I think the roaches were like part of the deal. And when we moved to the Woodlands, it wasn't the Woodlands. It was Inwood North, around that area, Northwest, and they had tree roaches. I'd never seen a tree roach. That was a whole different level.
Oh yeah.
The first time we saw those, and they take off and fly, and it got to be a joke. There was one tree roach that would come out about 10 o'clock at night where we lived, and would start flying, and we named him Henry, and Don Nelson. I keep bringing up Don Nelson. It was at Channel 13. He was the host there at 13 for a long time, and we were real good friends. And he and his wife had just moved into town. They came over, and they were sitting there, and all of a sudden this roach crawled out, and they went, "Oh, what is that? What is that?" That's a tree roach. And they went, "A tree? Oh, what are you gonna do?" And I said, "Nothing. That's Henry." And she goes, "You named your roach?" And I went, "Yeah." And they go, "Oh my, that's ridiculous." And so it took off flying, and she just went running. It was hilarious. But we, over where we are now, we don't have that many. They're more German. It's a German roach, or what it's called.
That's the type. Usually the tree roaches, the bigger roaches, come from outside.
Yeah.
Typically, like German roaches are the smaller roaches that get in the kitchens and pantries and things like that. They're a little more difficult to treat sometimes. That's when you have a lot of roaches. The higher infestations are typically a German roach.
Well, I think you caught ours in time where we are, and because we don't see that many of them, that we'll see a tree roach once in a while. But the German roaches were always at the east end side of town. That was where we saw. They were just horrible, and the infestation of those things were just there. My dad felt he could take care of it. We didn't need any exterminator or anything like that. There's plenty of sprays out there. So it was funny because you really did, have to deal with them, but they were there so much, you just kind of like, okay, let's get over them. But I can imagine a wife calling you and saying, yeah, do they call you about for mice? You don't do rodents, do you?
Yeah,
You do rodents as well.
We do rats and rodents, yes, ma'am.
I guess we never, oh,
Y'all never had an issue with it.
we never had it, yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. But anyway, if you have to deal with a woman that's hysterical about a rodent or anything like that, what do you do?
We just kind of just try to educate them on what the situation really is. If it's a high infestation, or we just kind of give them make up a game plan, tell them what we need to do, how to treat it, how to attack it, and kind of move on. Try to comfort them and as best we can.
We calm them down. Us girls in the office get the first phone call, so we calm them down.
Yes.
They go out, treat, inspect, make sure nothing else is going to get in.
That is
Happy in the end.
See, that's great. That's why when Chris shows up, he's like, dun, 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 like here
Yep.
comes the hero,
Yes.
and Chris is coming to take care of the problem.
Yes.
But can you imagine with Chris's accent and how he's so calm? He is always so calm, always. Hi, Miss Cindy, how you doing? And what's going on? And I have to, I've a number of times told him, now, Chris, okay, what this house looks like right now, and all that stays in here, right? That you don't go and talk to the other people that you go over and do their. He said, "No, I'm not going to talk about it." And
Never.
I've seen worse. It's okay, Cindy.
In 20 years, he's
Seen it
seen
all.
quite a bit, yes.
Well, that's what I always thought was so funny, was because you want everything to look the best, and thought, I need to get all this cleaned up because he's coming over. We got to get this cleaned. And so the thing can, at least whatever he sprays is going to get to him, because the layer of what I had on the floor and stuff it'll never make it to the roaches or whatever it was. And so he's always been so sweet, very, very professional, and very nice about what everything looked like. And as he stepped over, I said, you think you can still get this room? Oh, I can make this room. Yeah, the only room you haven't conquered is my daughter's.
Yeah, she usually just.
It's like, what'd she say? I got this, or?
Yeah, she said, I'm good.
I'm good.
Usually she just yells from upstairs, I'm okay this time.
Yeah. I always thought, he's probably thinking, okay, is that the strange daughter that lives upstairs? No.
I usually only go there when she's gone.
Yeah,
and
right.
You tell me just to sneak up there.
Yeah, sneak up there, get done, and come on down. But that was Sam's man cave, and he lost that, so now she's got it.
Well, he's got a pretty good setup now. So.
Oh yeah, he's so far removed from us. So he wants it.
I think he moved out. He did.
He wants everyone to know this is what the house should look like. If I was in control, the house would look like this. But we have a good time over there. It's fun, and we love it. Now I know that before you divulge any secrets from our house, there's stories that you've got to have that at one point when you retire, you could probably do a book on what you've had to put up with, right?
I definitely could.
You could.
Yes.
And I, of course, I want to know about some of those stories, and we don't have to name names or anything like that. But if they live on our block, would you just give me a thumbs up? And and I'll know I'm not the only
any
one.
immediate neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Maybe across Calvary.
Across the Calvary.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
It definitely gets a little interesting.
Because you don't know what you're going to run into.
Yes.
Okay, you raised your hand.
I just realized location.
Huh?
I just realized location.
Yeah, what he's talking about?
Yes.
There's definitely a range, a very big range of what could be happening over there. It could be just a normal house, or it could be a major infestation that nothing short of lightning will help.
You go for the truck for the gasoline and the lighter, and this is what we're going to have to do.
Some of them are, but I like a good challenge, so it's okay sometimes.
That's
Those are not very typical, but it's good to have something that will test you every once in a while and kind of refresh you, sharpen your skills.
Great
a little bit.
training for our guys as well. If you can handle this and conquer that,
Yes.
you're gonna be just fine.
I know one time you said, we might be sending someone you just hired, and I went, oh no, we'll wait. We're going to talk to the ants, and we'll talk to them and say, okay, Chris is not coming today, so y'all have one more day of having fun because he's going to be here tomorrow. And I said, no, it's got to be Chris. And I know that you have people that are like that, right? They can't let go of Chris.
Yes, because he's wonderful.
Yes.
Everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants him back in their home.
And you give his cell number out whenever you call. If y'all aren't there, you give his cell number out.
Yes.
So you got to be getting calls like all the time as well.
It's busy, but that's okay.
No, it's okay for you to be busy. Well, I know people think it's weird having your exterminator on, but that's okay. That's how I like to keep this show, is they don't know who's going to come on next and what we're going to be talking about next, because we talked about talking to dead people last week, and so today we're talking about talking to dead insects. Now, it's funny because how many people have started. I don't know when this. I mean, it's been forever, I know, but how it got to be a trend of eating insects, and the chocolate-covered insects, and the stuff that I saw they're selling them. They're selling them at the little store down the street. That I'm staring at the little things they have and all the artifacts they have, and I'm looking at them, and I went, "That's an ant. That's a grasshopper. What?" And that they're eating these insects. So, if that became a real thing, Chris, do you worry about your job?
I don't think so. I think there's plenty of other things to eat before. That's got to be low on the list.
And it can be very filling.
No.
I can't imagine.
No, there's too
No.
many women like me that are fearful of bugs. That definitely when I'll be eating them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The women that are afraid of the roaches or the spiders, why would you eat one? But they do that. That's a delicacy. That's and the kids started thinking it was like, watch me eat that. It started being that kind of thing. And I was like, that is just, it's got to not be good for your system. But anyway, I wondered about that, and I know that's probably not something you think about, because there's plenty of others just like us that would, when you see that first ant or you see the roach, that's what's coming if we don't get Chris in here like immediately. But then we have our trying to get, me calling you and you calling me and us going back and forth. And I go like, I'm going to drive over there and we're going to find where Chris is and on his route, and I'm going to find him and I'm just
Flag him down when he's driving to the neighbor.
knock on the door. Sorry, I know Chris is in there exterminating, but I need to talk to him.
Roadblock.
Yeah, because do you do everybody's house on our street?
We do not all of them, but quite a few, and we just did a brand new house that's
Yes.
just right almost across the street from you.
Right,
That
right.
one was, we did termite prevention there, so it's still not, it's in the building stages still. So
Okay, so termite prevention, before it's completely built, you go in and do that as well?
yes,
Oh.
lots of those. A lot of houses, we do that while it's being built. That way we can get in before they put any drywall insulation. We can
Yeah.
treat the entire
All of
house,
the wood.
all of the wood inside,
Ah,
and it keeps the termites out. So
well, Samuel just accidentally put a hole in the wall in our hallway, so I don't know whether to have you treat now or go ahead and drywall that thing before. And Sam is hunting, and so he doesn't know about it yet.
oh no,
No, but my brother-in-law said, "I'll come over. I'll take care of it. It's no big deal." And I said, "Okay, but I'm losing all this air conditioning going into the wall." And he said, "Just put something up, put a sack in there. It's fine." You know, I love it. But he's so calm. And he said, "I'll be over tonight. We'll get it fixed before Sam comes home." And he'll never know what happened. No, he will.
Yeah.
I'll tell him. Don't worry. I'll tell him.
He's got the eagle eye over there. He'll know.
Yeah, he'll say, "I smell new drywall. What are we doing here?" But it's funny because when a wall opens up like that and you look in and you see you go like, "Oh, is anything be living in the walls?" How long can they live there without you knowing that they're living in the wall?
Well, usually if something's living in a wall, there's got to be a reason they're there. So it's usually 2 reasons they're going to be in there. There's food, or there's water, or there's moisture. So without that, typically they're just passing through, going to food or water. So
Okay. That's what Sam will always say. He says, "You guys will leave food out. What do you think is going to happen?" And I said, "We're going to have healthy insects." And he says, "Look, y'all got to quit doing that because it's not good. It's just not a good thing to do. And you're just drawing all this to you." So the ants, are sugar ants worse than the regular ants?
Well, sugar ants don't bite or anything like that. They're just more of a nuisance. So they're not generally really hard to get rid of. But we have lots of different types of ants that are here, from a fire ant to a pavement ant, a crazy ant, carpenter ants.
A crazy ant?
Yes.
Like your crazy ant?
Like, yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And you all treat them, they're treated differently. So once you figure out what they are, then you can figure out how to treat them. But fire ants are what's typically what's going to out in the yard at bite.
Yeah, they'll stay in the yard, right? They won't come in the house.
They can
They
come in
will.
the house, but
They will?
Yes.
typically they're out in the yard.
Man, one day I went out and there was an ant that had like a red velvet, had some kind of
So
velvet coat on or what?
so those look like an ant. Most common term I get for those is a cow killer.
A cat, that's right.
So-
And I couldn't kill it. I kept
So
stepping
it's
on
actually a wasp. It's a wingless wasp. But they're
Really?
you can't step on it and kill it. It's almost like
it. No, you
a
can't.
sponge.
No, you can't. I kept stepping on it and stepping. It was hurting my foot. Because I was determined to kill this thing because it looked so like it was going to kill you if you didn't kill it. And I had to go get something and tear it up where I separate its body from the head.
Whatever works.
Yes, I'm trying to think how to say that. And but it was amazing. And I took a picture of it and everything. It was just like, it's got to be weird in this
So I see
environment.
those sporadically, and they do sting, and it's a pretty good sting.
Because they can kill a cow. I mean,
Well,
or they
it-
say,
I think it's named that because it's a pretty painful sting.
oh, okay.
But you generally, I see them where there's in pastures and where people
Yeah,
have
they're
cows.
outside.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, they
okay.
don't want to come in your house.
They don't?
Not
No.
very rarely are they around.
They come up to the house and go like, Chris has been here. Okay, let's go, and leave. But there's a spider that I came across, and I took a picture of it too. I have so many pictures of different things that come around our house, but it was the biggest spider I think I'd ever seen. That I thought, it wasn't a black widow, and it was very colorful. It was, and found it was a banana.
Yes.
Is that right? A banana? Yeah. And these legs that were just like everywhere, and you kept feeling like it was going to jump, and so we were trying to figure out how to kill it, or get rid of it after everybody took their picture with it, selfie. But it was scary. I mean, that was the scariest spider I'd ever seen
They
before.
do get large.
And, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
very large. And the wolf spiders get very hairy. They look like
Yes.
tiny tarantulas.
Yeah. And you feel like, okay, I'm going to die now because that thing's in the house somewhere and I can't find
So
where it went.
The wolf spiders, I always get the calls on those. One, they're fairly large, but they carry all their babies on their back. So somebody will see one in the garage or wherever, and they step on it, and then all the babies come off. So it looks like a little invasion. They might have 60, 70 babies on its back. Tiny little things. I mean, the size of a pinhead.
Those are the calls I get.
That would be, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we need Chris Wootton to come to the rescue because we're going to take a break right now and we're going to listen to Chris talk about the Wootton Financial Group, and he's our new sponsor. Take it away, Chris.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
On the Cindy Cochran Show, and thank you again, Chris Wootton. There's so many Chris's around here. Chris Wootton with the Wootton Financial Plan Group. We're so happy to have you with us. And anyway, I wanted to ask Melissa. We have with us Melissa and Chris Pasket, and he is like the most popular exterminator around. I don't know, how's that feel to be the most popular exterminator around?
Well, it was a hard title to get, but
that's amazing. I know your sons are proud. Like my dad, he's the most popular, exterminator. You think Arnold Schwarzenegger was no. My dad is the guy that takes everybody out, all the bad things that are in your house. But it's such a, once Chris has been at the house, you feel like, okay, they're all gone and everything's gone and we're all good. He's protected us from the outside, the inside, and it's fine. And now if that doesn't happen though, if something gets through and they see something after he's been there, they call Melissa. And what do they say to you, Melissa? Get him back. What do they say to you?
Well, usually if it's still alive, I say wait 5 minutes. And sure enough, it did its job and the bug dies.
That's exactly. No, that is so true, because he'll say, okay, it's going to take a few minutes, so don't be calling me back after. If you see an ant crawling around, it's okay. They're going to die.
Right.
And so just watch it. It's kind of eerie, isn't it? You talk about the insects. You've never felt like sorry for any of them you had to kill, right?
No, I guess not. That's why.
In the beginning, or whenever you were a little kid and you'd step on or
No, definitely not when you're a kid. That's,
that's the fun part.
yeah, I mean, you're just.
But you never took like a magnifying glass and tried to kill
Well,
the ants with it.
It's,
I think every little boy did
you
that.
can't rule it out. I mean, I might have had shown our boys how to
Got to relive it a little bit.
relive my childhood. Yeah.
Through
Probably with
them.
all three.
Y'all have got the most beautiful family. Those
Thank
kids
you.
are so cute. It's three
Three boys.
boys, yeah. And I see them at HEB. How many times have I seen you at HEB since it
Every
started?
time.
Well, this morning I went over there, and I looked so bad. My eyes had just blown up because of allergies or something, and they were just. And I had sunglasses on, but the sunglasses were too dark. I couldn't really see anything. I kept having to take them off. But it was. I thought if I run into somebody I know, and watch, Chris is going to walk through here at any minute. But what's great is that Chris is so good, and. And I don't dress up for Chris or trying to look good. That's just like, Chris, hurry, come in and let me shut the door, because it is. But he still kicks him back, and I feel like Chris has known me every horrible instance in our life, because I have been through surgeries and through all this stuff that he's come through, and I don't care about that, what the house looks like. Most of the time, anyway. But when I'm not feeling good and I've gone through the stuff we've gone through, I'm like, Chris, just kill them all. I'm just, it's okay with me. And he's very nice about it and walks away, and he doesn't tell any of the neighbors what I really look like. But I am so happy that you have been a part of our lives. And I always wonder, like, how could is there any way I could help Chris? Is there any way? And I thought, he could come on and but I thought might be too shy, and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't come on and talk.
This one shy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because usually he's so, so quiet, like, okay, I get this done. And I thought, well, that would be fun. And then he said, can my wife come with me? And I went, well, sure. And I thought, he's going to have her do all the talking.
No, we work pretty well together.
And now, when you met him, was he an exterminator, or did he become an exterminator after y'all met and got married?
Mainly after. Before we got married, we've been together 20 years.
Wow.
So we've been through a lot.
I'm so proud of y'all. That is wonderful.
Yeah, 120 years this next year.
But you didn't take exception with him wanting to be an exterminator.
No, I don't like bugs, so.
That's what I mean. You don't like bugs like that.
No, so
You're really good. You're a good person to be with. But see, I think that's great. That's a good idea, because if you don't like them and I call, then you're very sympathetic, not saying, oh, just step on it. What do you want? Just,
No, I will take care of it immediately. Not me. I will send them and
Yes.
take care of it immediately.
I think that's great, because I was wondering, like, how do you become attracted to someone who's kills bugs, and that's what their love is, killing that. What like how? But that was okay, because you loved the fact that he would get rid of all that stuff for you, and wasn't afraid of them.
No. He takes care of anything that I don't need to deal with or want to. Or I can't do
I
it.
like
He's got
that.
it.
He says, honey, the kids are really bugging me. Get them out of here.
I
Yes.
think that's why we ended up with 3 boys. I am enough that he has to take care of. If there was more of me
Females.
around, it'd be too much.
That's true. That is
So
true.
God gave us boys. Now
Yes.
they can all handle my problems.
See?
Get rid of whatever it is.
Well, now I was just thinking about the queen bee. You just made me think of that. The queen bee.
Definitely.
You have to get rid of the queen bee to get rid of everybody, right? I mean, that
Yes.
queen bee has to go first, right?
the queen has to go.
Okay. Now you be careful. Can he use that analogy with, wait a minute, my wife is a queen bee. But I mean, it really is funny, because there are people that raise bees up and down our street, and that's driven me crazy. But they stay right there. They don't, they don't
bother
come
anything.
over.
They're just
They're not gonna go
they're
anywhere.
out looking for food and to make honey, and to make the hive bigger. And
If you
that's
don't bother
it.
them, you know.
If you don't bother them, they're definitely not going to bother you.
Well, of course, if one gets in the car, it's a whole different story, and it's
Yes.
just, you can hear it, and it's coming at you.
Uh-huh.
Now, what about mosquitoes? What?
Mosquitoes, we do mosquito control. That's a little different than every yard is different. Just, no matter what kind of insect you're having. Somebody across the street from you may never see spiders, and you see spiders all the time.
Ah.
So every house is different, no matter if it's your neighbor or across town. You have to go and evaluate it differently and really see what the issues are. But mosquitoes are the same way.
Mosquitoes need to go as well. All of them.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen. Those things are just, it's ridiculous. You cannot, just when you go outside the porch, and it should have it screened in, but you go out there and it's just, there they are. They know you're coming.
They're
They're waiting.
waiting.
Yeah. I know they know. And it just makes you so mad. You're like, you spent all that money on that big porch because that's what you want to enjoy. And they just ruin it. But I don't want to put one of those light things out that you goes buzz, and you go like, there goes another one.
No,
Buzz.
no. And they go out and spray and fog. Great products. So you can go outside and enjoy your porch.
Ah, okay.
It works really well.
Okay, that's good, because those other things are, it's kind of creepy to sit there and listen to them die. But I think that if you were to ever retire, you're not going to ever retire, right? Okay. If you people want your house exterminated by the nicest and the friendliest, and he'll keep all your secrets and not tell anybody else, Chris is the best. And with Moco Pest Solutions, it's just, I'm so proud to be able to tell people, I know this guy. This guy is wonderful. And it's funny, women do talk about their exterminators. They go like, listen, this guy can get rid of anything, anybody you want.
Yes.
He will. We had, there was a bed we had that would, I thought for sure there was bed bugs in there because of the bites. It looked like there were bites. It's a triangular bite that they do. Isn't that right? It's like,
It could
like
be. Yeah.
three of them, three small. Anyway, I looked it up, Googled everything about it, and so Chris came over, because that was just driving me crazy. If there's bed bugs in there, I want to know what should we do or how do we get rid of them, and never thinking, just take the mattress and go get another mattress, just because you're supposed to change mattresses how often?
I don't know.
They say,
7 years, 7
years maybe, yeah.
I can't, we're going on 20. So anyway, but this one, and he came in and he was so sweet. He says, nope, I don't see, it's not here. There's nothing here. He says, I'll spray, and we'll spray, but I don't see, it's something like you didn't see them, and if you don't see them.
Well, there's different signs you have to look for. I mean, just things to look for around the bedding, and it's not always just a bite. So
You can get bit outside and not have a reaction till later.
Oh, okay. And
Inspection.
well, see, and the dog sleeps in the room, so you always wonder what Maddie brings in. And everybody, all the dogs we've had always loved Chris, and they just go, oh boy, new blood, and here comes Chris. But you get along with Maddie real well. Isn't she a good dog?
yes,
She's a good dog.
yes, she is.
She's sweet. She stays out of his way, but she wants to go home with him. She goes with the truck. I was like,
Yeah, she barks when I get there. Then she's,
yeah.
oh, look at me, and then she's
What she
happy to
sees
see
you.
me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He goes, oh, the flea guy. That's good. Good, the flea guy. Now, fleas are another thing. That getting an infestation of fleas is easy when you have the dogs. And they go outside and they bring them in and all that. Now they have pills that you can give the dog, but my son's dog died from the pill. Gave him. It had a reaction to it,
Really?
and so now I'm scared to death to give
Yeah.
Maddie one.
The pills do work fairly well. People get good results with those, but just giving the dog a bath every once in a while And,
Oh, come on.
You know, that usually helps.
And like washing the sheets. Okay. Well,
Yeah, just the regular maintenance that helps.
oh, thanks. See, that was real sweet. He didn't say like, Cindy, if you just wash those nasty sheets once in a while. No, but anyway, I think you're very kind, and you never say anything derogatory. I usually do it off. I'm so sorry. This is horrible, Chris. I'm sorry having to come into this, but you're very good. And so people can find you. Tell me that it's Moco Pest Solutions.
Moco Pest Solutions. We're on Facebook as well. MocoPestSolutions.com. And we're right out of Willis. That's where we plan to stay. Our office, keep our office there. We stay very local.
How far out do you go? That's a good question.
So typically just residential stuff. We go from Rayford Road to about Huntsville.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man.
So
Okay, well,
Shoot to Magnolia.
yes.
That's our area.
man, you just cross a lot of different people.
Yes.
You go from what? Does your accent change when you get closer to Woodlands? Or
Well, that's bred in pretty good.
Definitely not.
That's not going anywhere.
It's definitely not going anywhere.
no, but I love it because I always tell people I was trying to get rid of my accent to go into the entertainment business, and then you miss it. You miss the Texas accent, and so we'll have people come in here and just it's great to listen to them, and that's what Chris has got. That really, here's the drawl. Here it is.
He didn't even know he had it till he met me. I'm from Oklahoma, and he would go up there, and it's not that far away. But
Right.
most people do talk a little different, and they knew immediately that he was not from Oklahoma. They knew he was from Texas. What are you doing here?
You got a.
Yeah.
I think you got a West Texas. You must have a West Texas because there's West and East Texas have a different speed the way that they talk. There's one that's slower than the other. And when I was learning sign language and I started interpreting, and when I talked to deaf people, they knew I was from Texas because how slow I signed. And I thought, now that's an interesting aspect to this, but it's great. I love your accent. I think your accent's good, and you're lucky that you met Melissa, and that you have her as your partner. Now, is there Michelle? Is she the one that answers the phone as well?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You should have heard the conversation I had with her because I thought she was you.
Well, Michelle and Melissa, Michelle's been with us about a little over a month now, and she fits in perfectly. She's
Oh, that's
does
great.
a great job, but having Michelle and Melissa, it's nobody's ready.
People know they just don't pick it up quickly when she says her name, and
Right.
you just go, "Well, your husband," and it's too much to stop and explain. Well, it's not my husband. It's just which.
Well, she finally stopped me when I was talking about y'all being on radio. Okay, so you need to be at the radio station. And she says, ma'am. What? I'm supposed to be where? No, not you. I said, are you his wife? Are you the wife? And she says, no, that's Melissa. And I went, well, and who are you? Or who are you? And she says, Michelle. It's like, it was just, poor thing. It's like, I got to get this lady straight her off the phone
You're
quick.
not the only one.
Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. See, because Richard thinks I'm the only one that gets stuff mixed up all the time. And names. Imagine you have all these guests come in, and to sit there and I'm looking at them and going, I can't remember your name for nothing. What am I going to call you?
That happens all the time. She'll ask me who that was, and I'll say, well, they live over here, right here, and they drive this car, but I don't know their name.
I can't. Well, that's like me not knowing your last name. It's always been Chris and Melissa, and I kept calling her Christy. I thought. Did you all ever have anyone that was a Christy answering your phones ever in the last 10?
No.
Okay. Did your mother or someone answer the phones, or some like another part of the family?
A long time ago, and there was another girl in there earlier in the year.
Okay.
So.
When they come in and they're coming into a pest solution place, and they're afraid of insects and all that. There's no problem with that. You haven't.
Well, luckily, we don't bring any live specimens to the office, so.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
They bring
Well, that's
all
true.
The dead ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you need to have
I do have some pretty cool stuff I've collected, but it's artifacts, I would say, not any live creatures.
Live.
Them in jars. We put the lid on it, tighten it really tight, just to make sure that thing's not coming out of
Nothing's
there.
coming up. Oh. But you have to. What about snakes?
I do not do snakes.
Okay.
No, I know a fella, but that's not for me.
I know a fellow. That's great. I love that. I love that. So if anybody wants to call you, the number is
936-648-9978, and that will get one of the girls at the office.
yes. Okay. One more time.
936-648-9978.
All right. And you can come on the Cindy Cochran show, the Facebook, and you can add comments and tell people whatever you want to tell them on mine. I wanted to let y'all know. And things I probably said about them on the Facebook, I don't mean all of it, but they are our heroes. We love y'all so much. Our
Well,
family
we really
loves y'all so
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you so much.
This was great. And
Thank
and
you.
see, and it wasn't real bad, was it? It was, no, see, he's so laid back. I never even looked like he was nervous ever.
He never gets nervous.
That's-
You walk into anything. and
Well,
handle it.
what he has to watch and see every day is just, I can see why. But listen, I do want to tell y'all thank you so much, and everybody, if you really do have a problem at your house, this is the guy with the solution and with the comments. He'll calm you down and make you feel like everything's going to be all right. So thank you, and thank you guys for being here. And listen, thanks for watching. And tomorrow and the next day is we're not going to be here, but you'll have a show. We'll have a show. There's always a show, and it may be this show again because this is a great show. I like this show. Anyway, and it's such a good. We're supposed to be a community, service, radio station, and this was probably the best community service I could have done because all the others are just, we have a lot of fun with. But I want to tell you, listen, have a great day. It's windy out there, but it's okay. Go out, call somebody you love, and first responders, we love you. And we could put Chris in that position as well. But we love you, first responders, and what's even better is God loves you. So thank you so much, and y'all have fun, and we'll see you next Monday. And Chris Wootton, yes, thank you for being our sponsor, the Wootton Financial Group. Love them.